What's up, guys? Welcome back from the LG studios here in New York City. I'm axeltoss, joined by axslav, and today is Tuesday. We're live right now. We have players in a lobby that is live right now. I love live stuff. It makes me so happy. We're continuing a 2v2 tournament, four teams, two-man teams, a 2v2 tournament.
That's 8 men.
Eight people in total, and its first semifinal was yesterday. The second semifinal is today. The final is tomorrow. It's very simple. 3 days, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yesterday was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Todd and Grubby showcased some great teamwork and play there.
It did.
I'm excited to see them play the winner of today's match tomorrow.
Yeah.
Of course, today's match is going to be Drewbie-Vibe versus Feast and Dragons. That's going to be very exciting. Of course, Drewbie-Vibe, when we had the 2v2 King of the Hill, they won 3 in a row.
They did. They're good.
Yes, they're a very good twos team. Feast and Dragon, I don't think have too much experience together, but they're both great players in their own rights. I mean, Feast is one of the best pro tosses in Europe. Dragon, of course, everyone knows him from his stream. He's actually done some of our community events. He's very well into free-for-alls and things like that. So he's very good in alternate game types as well.
He's a well-loved guy. There's a lot of storylines behind all these guys. Of course, Drewbie-Vibe. You know, the moment that King of the Hill ended, it was about, I think it was like 2 weeks ago? It was a bit ago. It's on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/officialmlgsc2. We had a 2-2 King of the Hill. Drewbie-Vibe did a great job. Not an hour after it ended, Drewbie's like, axeltoss, that was awesome. Let's do it again sometime. And here we are, again, in another 2v2 type event. Hope you guys enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have this kind of stuff instead of 1v1s all the time, at least I think. But who am I to say that? Of course, Dragon, it's his birthday today. So happy birthday to Dragon. Yeah, be sure to go tweet at him happy birthday. He's at SC2Dragon on Twitter. And then, of course, Feast, congrats to him. He just qualified yesterday for the EU WCS Premier League. So fantastic job to him. Of course, it's so awesome having these guys in the same room playing 2v2 against each other, of course. Again, if you missed yesterday, as you said, Grubby and Todd were able to take out the gift of Gab, which was Destiny and Minigun. If you missed those matches, they were very entertaining. They're on our YouTube channel right now, youtube.com/officialmlgsc2. That being said, we have to find out who Todd and Grubby are going to face, and it's going to be this best of 5. And between Dragon and Feast and Drewbie-Vibe, I'm going to ask these guys.
The players are ready.
I'm asking them in the chat if they're ready.
You know, your point about Feast qualifying for WCS Europe, that's a really great accomplishment. I mean, those qualifying tournaments are so tough. The ones in Europe are going on live they started Monday. They're going up until Thursday.
Yeah, like 12-hour days of StarCraft.
Each tournament is either a 1,024-person tournament or a 512-person tournament, and only the top 2 make it.
Top 2.
So Feast
to be one of those two is pretty ridiculous. So Feast is in top form. Now, a lot of people might recognize his name because he was kind of dubbed Grubby's apprentice in a sense. Where Grubby kind of took him under his wing a little bit and was kind of helping him improve as a StarCraft 2 player. And now I think those players together, they're very evenly matched. They're both very fun to watch, both very good Pro Toss players, and they're both in this tournament. We'll see how they do.
Maybe
I think we have to remake.
They'll go up against, is there someone wasn't
Gosh
quite
dang
ready?
it, Nick. You had one job.
What's my job?
One job.
Oh, the game
one
is
job.
Unfortunately,
I'm just kidding. It's fine, Nick. I forgive you. So we're going to get that remade. The settings were on slow mode, which
Who would ever host a game like that?
The only reason you'd play in slow mode is if you're trying to defeat Day9's challenge of maxing Terran as fast as possible.
Is there goal marks we can say for that?
Is there? Oh,
like a goal mark for that Terran max challenge, like beating. I think you should definitely get under 12 to say you're really good. Or to say you're like, if you're masters, you should be under 12.
Okay.
And I
is
mean,
this in fastest or is this in slow?
Oh yeah, it's gotta be fastest.
Okay, fastest or faster. I'm not sure what the.
I mean, when you're practicing, you can do it in slow, but to have your time be like, this is where I'm gonna be.
We were actually theory crafting of like the best way to do it for quite a bit, but I think like the record out there right now is like 10:30 or something like that. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Day9 issued a challenge. I think it was last week of to see how fast you can max as a Terran player. I think my first time I hit in like 12 minutes or something. It's pretty bad. Nick, you did like 11:30 because you're better than me, but it's pretty fun. And the point is,
each time we do, we can get better too. I mean, I'm sure if we kept doing it, we would obviously improve our times quite a bit. Is everyone ready? Dragon and Feast are ready. Is Drewbie ready?
Waiting on Drewbie.
Let's make sure he's all set.
Oh, he's ready.
All right.
And game speed is on faster. Okay. Good job, Nick. Setting the right game speed.
I learn. I'm a learning human being here. That's, of course, what separates us from the majority of the robots out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the WCS stuff.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking about how great it is that Feast qualified. Those European qualifiers going on this week.
Yep.
Next week is going to be the North American qualifiers.
Yes.
So we'll be broadcasting those from this studio.
Oh yeah.
Next week. So stay tuned for that. There's going to be some great games. But now we're into the 2v2.
It's going to be awesome. And these two players in the bottom right are going to be playing in it. Actually, one of them's already qualified. We'll get to that in a second. Drewbie is the red Terran player. And of course, we have Vibe, the green Zerg player. Vibe has already qualified for the Premier Division of the North American WCS. And in fact, the groups were released today. I think it's with Theognis and a Zerg. Forgot the Zerg. I just remembered Theognis because they're both en route, and that made me a little sad when I saw that because no one wants a team kill, but sometimes it happens. Of course, Drewbie, he's going to be trying to qualify for absolute sure. People might recognize him through his, you know, him and Cats had 2v2 teams back in the day.
Yes.
But Drewbie and Vibe kind of made an alliance based on the last King of the Hill that happened. So they're just trying to, and they did really well. So they're just trying to continue with the success that they've had. Speaking of success, the top left-hand location, we got the purple Terran player, Dragon. Very well-known Korean. Loves being a little crazy sometimes on stream, which is awesome to watch. I think he wore a bathing suit once. I don't know if you knew about that, Nicholas.
I might have missed that one. I seen him do some crazy stuff. But
I
I'm not sure
forgot.
if I caught the bathing suit. Oh, look at this from Drewbie, though. Back in the game. He's building the proxy barracks.
Yep. Proxy
And
Reaper,
that is...
This is what he did.
They did this pretty much every game. Vibe goes for speedlings. Drewbie goes Reapers. They try to see what damage they can get done early. And then, of course, behind this, there's a certain point where Vibe makes a certain amount of speedings. They transitions to insane macro mode with just like a billion drones. But Drewbie keeps up the pressure, and the idea is to keep their opponents basically on the defensive, keep their opponents from developing, and then by the time their opponents finally move out, Vibe has got, you know, like 3 base, a billion swarm hosts, whatever layer tech he wants.
You get Tech Lab here, Mr. Nick.
Oh!
So, Marauder, I guess?
Yeah, it's going to be, you know what, this could be because they're facing against Terran Protoss. Of course, they used the Reapers when there was not a Terran on the opposing team because Reapers can micro around most of the units, but if there's a sufficient amount of Marines on the field, the Marines can take down those Reapers. It also could be a reaction to scouting the Dragon's location to buildings, saying, okay, with the Marauders, we can take down that wall very well. Marauders are great against Protoss units early on with concussive shells. Speedings can help protect them as well.
Dragon's going to be scouting across the map here with a Reaper. Going to try to spot what's going on. Going to see the gas from Vibe. He should. The gas hasn't actually been mined yet. So, oh, okay. 100 gas was mined, but taken off to start speed right away. The Reaper with some nice micro here already has a drone kill. Not too shabby at all. And we need some units out here defending against this. There's some Lings. There's a Queen. And that Reaper should be ushered out fairly quickly.
The question I have is, oh, the Marauder caught one Reaper in the middle of the map. Concussive shells being used to great extent, but the Reaper barely gets away.
Quick.
Those guys are so fast, even on
Ninjas.
half speed. They can escape from the Marauder. That's really impressive.
Mothership Core from Beast.
Yeah,
How
nothing
good
they
are
can
these
shoot up.
Marauders going to be? Marauders cannot shoot up. They can't lay on their backs. Look at the sky and shoot the Mothership Core. No, they have to retreat.
This push is really that. The Mothership Core alone takes so much out of this push. I mean, yes, they can handle the Reapers well from Marauders, but they can't shoot up. And of course, Speedings can't shoot up as well.
Oh, the Reaper's going to try to pursue these Marauders. Can't really run if the Reapers stay annoying because they'll just poke and prod as they proceed
And
across
the Reapers,
map.
of course, regenerate. So if they're trading life, you know, the Reapers will be happy to take some damage as long as they don't entirely... Oh, Speedings!
To the high ground. Great micro there from Dragon. Able to get to the high ground, taking control of that watchtower, but those are Speedlings. We're going to have to see that scene from StarCraft where the Reapers jump up and down the cliff.
Oh, the Speedings split up into 2 groups, though. The Reapers, they jump to the low ground, and Drewbie takes them out.
Mothership Core trying to find something to do, wanting to save these Reapers' lives. That Reaper is going to get tracked down and killed, but I think they might have paid for themselves buying time, getting a bunker up, going into Hellion production now. So I think Team Feast and Dragon are going to be just fine at this point in the game.
They're looking fine, but it's not like that was a very committed attack from the root players, Drewbie and Vibe. This wasn't like a 4 racks craziness. It's just a single proxy barracks. And behind it, of course, he teched. He's got a factor coming up and more barracks. Oh, that tech lab is under fire. He cannot lose that. That's researching STEM. If he loses STEM, he's in big trouble. But, of course, Feast is a little bit afraid to keep that Mothership Core out there for so long, and so he pulls it back.
Why? Why didn't he...
You know, I think he may have been afraid of like a Baning bus at the front. Okay. Maybe, I mean, he had sentries though. It could have just been if there was enough Marines. Of course, Marines are faster than the Mothership Core. So if you're in open ground where you have no ridges to kind of hide behind, if 3 to 4 Marines show up there, you're going to lose that core. And he probably thought the odds of him being able to kill the tech lab were low enough it wasn't worth going for.
All right. Well, I think you know, like we can easily say, I think if he had stayed, he might have been able to kill it.
Yes.
Especially with Hellions on the way from Dragon to oh, and look at this. See, maybe this is why. He's like, all right, well, the Hellions are just going to go kill it later.
And the Hellions, of course, are fast enough. If there is units coming to defend, they can easily just jet out of there. Losing that stim pack will be a very big blow for Drewbie. Oh, but Vibe's coming in.
Oh my god.
I feel like he has to...
This is like save the stim pack research. He's going to try to buy enough time for stim to finish. Drewbie's shouting, save it, but Vibe's saying, you know what, those things are shooting fire. My lings aren't that good against fire, so sorry, man. You're going to have to remake that tech lab somewhere else and restart back up stim, which is exactly what Drewbie is going to end up doing.
As we go forward here, we can see each team has basically 3 bases. On Feast is the one who has expansion on Team Feast and Dragon.
Yep.
And on the root side of things, Vibe has expansion. Vibe, of course, is up to Lair now. He's been pretty much producing almost entirely drones. So Vibe has that great economy now. He's going into the infestation pit, the range attack. I expect to see Swarm hosts.
Oh yeah, this is something that he loved to do in the earlier King of the Hills we had here at MLG, where again, he would just go for swarm hosts, and we saw him actually make a ridiculous comeback. Team Root made a ridiculous comeback. I forgot exactly who they were playing. I think it was QXC and Sasquatch, if I remember correctly, but they were basically down 60 to 70 supply. But Vibe was able to be very cost efficient with his unit composition of Infestors, Queens, and Swarm hosts, while Drewbie just made a bunch of Marines and went and tried to harass everywhere.
Going forward, they may have that same problem. As we see, Dragon now has an expansion of his own, so it's going to be 4 bases to 3. Of course, counterbalance this, Drewbie has the faster medevac tech over Dragon, so perhaps he can use these medevacs to great effect to get in there and do like what you're talking about, running around, harassing with Marine drops and Marauder drops, while Vibe builds up that massive Swarm host force.
Yeah, the main issue here for Team Root is going to be time. Vibe wants to get those juicy swarm hosts on the field, maybe some infestors as well. And Drewbie's just going to work on trying to give Vibe that time, because if they get attacked before those get out, it's not going to be fun. So we're going to see a big drop going into the main base of Feast. I don't think he's spotted
I think he's going to go around the back. I think he's going to go around he's going to drop.
Peeling him off.
Yes.
There's a Widow Mine.
Oh, that drop didn't work too well.
There's another Widow Mine.
Ooh.
Nice.
Dragon's Widow Mines doing a great job in preventing this drop harass.
Yep.
And that was really one of the powers that Drewbie had. I mean, the good news is he didn't lose either of those 2 medevacs. One medevac he lost only had a single Widow Mine and a Marine in it, so it wasn't the biggest deal.
Yeah, but I mean, great positioning there from Dragon on those Widow Mines. Great ability to predict the future and keep his opponent safe and himself safe. A couple Widow Mines at the edge of your base can really help soothe a lot of headaches and prevent those scary drops from happening.
Headaches have been soothed.
Yes.
Dragon, of course, Feast is progressing up with double forge upgrades, Blink Stalkers, and Colossi, which is pretty much the standard Protoss approach to dealing with swarm hosts. The question is how will this approach work once there's all the bio and medevacs mixed into it? The Colossi will be great against Drewbie's army, but the Blink Stalkers will have a harder time closing with those swarm hosts with Drewbie's bio there in the way.
We're seeing the Locusts getting sent forward in waves here from Vibe. Now Feast and Dragon know exactly what's going on, going to try to track down those swarm hosts. We've got Widow Mines, Marines, Colossi, Stalkers, Sentries, Zealots, a couple of Hellions here from Team Feast and Dragon. The Locusts continue to be sent forward. Some force fields going down, and the Thermal Lance Colossi doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Can they spot these swarm hosts and potentially kill them?
Drewbie was looking to flank there, but Dragon has Widow Mines ready to protect his flank. He's also making sure the Colossi don't get flanked by the bow as well. Force fields go down to keep the Locusts back. The hatchery falls, and I think Dragon and Feast will be happy with that kill. They're going to back away. Don't want to have the war against the Locusts, as eventually you're going to be losing units.
And Drewbie getting caught off guard. Remember, he was trying to flank a little bit earlier, but now Vibe is pretty far back there. So
he didn't pick his guys
and
up.
Feast are going to take the 2v1 every single day of the week. Both medevacs are going to end up falling. 10 HP on the medevac. He's going to get away. by the hair on his chinny chin chin. I don't know if that's the term, but I'm using it.
Yeah, I would say it's the term. I was a little bit surprised there. I thought he would pick up and get away, but he wasn't able to quite do that. The Swarmos are exposed. The Stalkers are blinking after them, but Drewbie-Vibe comes in there just in time to save the day, and the Locusts actually took a big chunk of the army out as well.
Wow, 2 Swarm hosts are very low in health. They're going to try to rebarrow. This hatchery is going to get denied. Meanwhile, keep in mind, Feast and Dragon have this additional base that Drewbie and Vibe are having trouble securing. It looks like they're going to actually take that base at the bottom side of the map to help, keep themselves even as far as that economy is concerned. But Feast and Dragon continue to press forward. Marines and Marauders continue to kite backwards. Locusts are being sent down once again. There's a blink forward from the Stalkers. Going to lose a lot of Stalkers here, but taking down 3 or 4 Swarm hosts. Not sure if that was entirely worth it. But Dragon and Feast continuing to press forward. How does Drewbie and Vibe deal with this?
I think they're just going to try to wear down the army using Locust Wave after Locust Wave. The majority of the Swarm hosts are still alive. And if you look at Dragon's and Feast's army, Dragon's bio has been almost entirely exhausted. And once the Marines go down, they're going to have a much harder time taking down those Locusts very quickly. So they're going to back away, saying, you know what, we got a couple kills here, we canceled the base, we're ahead, but they don't realize that Drewbie has this base at the bottom. So, well, they thought they were on 4 bases to 3, it was really 4 bases to 4, and now both teams are taking their 5th bases.
I'm a little bit surprised it's taking Dragon and Feast so long to take the similar base, right? On the other side of the map, of course, there's a Marine there. He has 0 kills, so it's not like a probe or an SCV has been sent there. But I think that could be a great base to take if you're trying to keep your economy safe. But here we go, another engagement going to happen here. Locust being sent forward from Vibe once again. Dragon and Feast trying to find a way to deal with this. Look out for the scans. There's a scan trying to spot where those Swarm hosts are, but nope, they're in the high ground.
That's so many Swarm hosts. Vibe has increased his count to, looks like there's 22 right now. The Locust Waves are coming down. Dragon and Feast want nothing to do with those Locusts. They're going to try to track down the Queens. The Queens are off creep. They're isolated. Those are going to die. Drewbie's on the run. The hatchery goes down yet again.
Locust taking down 1 Colossus. That hatchery is going to be denied.
Actually, every single Marine died to Locust on that attack force. Of course, there's actually additional squad Marines here.
Close the door. But Stalker's blinking forward. A lot of Marines Marauders going to die here, and Dragon going to try to clear that way back up. Now going to recognize that this expansion is here, taking down that orbital, and Drewbie's going to have to evacuate those SCVs. Meanwhile, the Locust there, the Swarm host there at the top. I mean, if Vibe can just keep these alive, he can get so much worth out of these Swarm hosts. So don't think that Drewbie and Vibe are out of this just yet.
They're not quite out yet. Vibe now has a couple of Vipers. He can use those to try to pull the Colossi into the Locust Swarms. Oh, more Queens being isolated by Dragon's Bioforce. They're going to go down. And, I mean, the Queens are not worth a whole lot, but he's still... Oh, the Swarmos! Dragon has found him. He takes one out.
There's the Locust Wave coming out there, trying to keep those Swarm hosts safe. And here are those couple of Vipers we saw a little bit earlier. Time Morph going down Locust, trying to slow them down a little bit.
You know,
a lot of Widowmines here.
Now.
A lot of Widowmines here from Dragon as well.
A lot of Widowmines. The Colossi count is up to 5.
God.
I don't know if the Swarmos can handle on their own. They're going to try to make another wave of Locusts, but the Swarmos are dangerously close to the front lines. Time Warp going down to force those Locusts back.
There's the Abduct onto the Colossi, trying to get those down, but just so much Bio and Protoss units here from Dragon and Feast, just muscling forward straight into the Swarm host, and there's the GG from Team Root. Dragon and Feast take game number 1. That was a great one to start things off, wasn't it?
It was. That was a really exciting game. I think the big turning point was when Drewbie's force got isolated and got taken out. If he still had all that Bioforce to keep it behind the Locust when the Locusts were engaging, adding the extra DPS behind the Locust, I think they would have been in great shape. But unfortunately, that force got taken out. And, you know, it was just kind of downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a game where again, Vibe was going for that just heavy Swarm host play. It's just Drewbie was never able to get a really big composition on the field. It seems like, you know, that first drop he attempted, lost a couple medevacs, lost a lot of units, and then a little bit later, he was trying to flank, but then that force was isolated. A lot of it was cleaned up. So I feel like if Drewbie had, you know, been able to get a really big force on the field to help supplement those Swarm hosts, then it might have been a much different story. So we'll have to see how these guys adjust going into game 2 of this 2v2 best of 5. Again, simple reminder, yesterday we had the first semifinal. Today is the second semifinal of a 2v2 tournament. MLG is hosting a 4-team tournament. It's currently Feast and Dragon up 1-0 against Vibe and Drewbie with game 2 coming up. Don't go anywhere.